Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 here, back with a video talking about the Odin 2 again. I absolutely love this handheld, it's so good. And today's video, we're going to be doing a Odin tour, or like what's on my Odin video, because it's pretty much fucking everything, really. Like, goddamn, I have so much on this little device. So, before we start, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, all that stuff helps me out. I'll try to make this a quick video. I won't try to, like, linger on things too long. I know I have a tendency to ramble. So, let's just get started. Oh, and before we start, this is the Odin 2 base model. This isn't the Pro or Max. This is, like, the lower end one. But it still can play a ridiculous number of games. And just to show you what I have here, let's go over to, I think it's under settings, and then we go to storages. Okay, so I have the base model, so there's 128 gigs of space in the unit itself. I have 71 gigs available. So, but I also have a 1 terabyte SD card, and it is used up. I literally have about a terabyte worth of games on this device. So I'm going to show you what I got going on. But before we look into like the emulation side of the things, I'll just look at the Android side because it's much smaller. So I got a version of Sonic Runners right here. Really cool game. I like it mainly because you can have like button controls with the controller mapping. Whoops. You can't do it when you're not in a game. But I basically made it where like B is to jump. And you pretty much just need to jump in that game. So that's really fun. I never got a chance to play Sonic Runners when it was out, but this is kind of like the, I guess like a paid version. So you pay, I think it was like $5, and then you get like the entirety of the game. So that's pretty cool. I also got Streets of Rage 4, which I have not played yet, but I like Streets of Rage, so one day I will play it. And I got the Android version, which I heard is actually pretty good. I got this game, Forgotten Memories. That was a game that was supposed to come out on PlayStation Vita, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't do it. They didn't make the version, but they did make it for Android, so I picked that up, still haven't played it. And then, of course, I got Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. Those are my 3 favorite Final Fantasy games. I got them on Android. And Devil May Cry Pika Combat, which I actually have to play that today. I forgot to do my daily missions, which sucks. And I also got Xbox Game Pass, which works great, by the way. I actually might want to show that off. So let's go here. We'll play like a real quick game. And basically what I'm doing is just doing the streaming. So we can go to like Psychonauts 2. And I'm on Wi-Fi right now, so I'm not plugged into like USB, or not USB, like an internet cable or anything. But just using strictly like Wi-Fi. I do have good Wi-Fi in my house, or at least in this room. There's really good Wi-Fi, so it shouldn't take too long. It does take a minute for the game to actually load up. But once it loads up, you are pretty much good. And okay. Psychonauts 2, and you see it's working fine. We just push any button. I just started this game. I just turned it on to see if it would work. But, like, literally, I'm, like, right at the start of the game. But it's working fine. Like, you can see it great. It looks good. Like, I'm not seeing any, like, weird, sometimes when you, like, stream games, you get some, like, weird, artifacts and just weird shit that happens, but this game looks like it's doing fine. So I was really impressed with the Xbox Game Pass and how well it works on this device. So again, yeah, exactly. You have to like want to quit the game, quit game, and it's just like you look at the library of games. Like you got what's it, Bluey? You got Bluey. That's all you really need. But you got Bluey, Tales of Arise, which is really good, Resident Evil 3. So again, you get to play like Pal World. there's quite like a good selection of games you get to pick from, which is really impressive. So yeah, I just wanted to show off Game Pass real quick. It works really well on this device. Like, this is a really great streaming device. But now let's get into the meat of the video with the actual emulator. So I'll start with some of the weaker ones first. So I think the weakest emulation thing I have on here is my DS with the Drastic emulator. I'll hit load new game, and you can see the amount of games that I have on here. So we got all the Avatar games, we got the Bleach games, Blood of Bahamut, the English patch of that, Blue Dragon, Castlevania, Chrono Trigger, Chocobo, the Digimon World games. We got a ton of stuff. The Dragon Quest games, Dragon Ball, the Final Fantasies. So again, and all of these games work great. Like, I can just say right off the bat, I have not had any trouble playing a DS game on this device. It's way more powerful enough to handle pretty much all these games. The only time you'd actually have, like, trouble with any of these is if it's, like, some weird, like, mostly touch game. Like, for example, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, that is pretty much a touch-only game, for the most part. But what's cool is these two games, I actually have a patched version of the ROM where it allows you to use buttons. So you can actually use like the buttons and play it like a normal standard Zelda game, which I think is really cool. So I think the next weakest system is probably Nintendo 64. And again, you can see all the games. I don't actually have that much Nintendo 64, mainly because if I'm going to play Nintendo 64, I'd play it on my first Odin, like the Odin Pro that I have, just because I already set it up the way I like it, as like widescreen support, and then, like, I have a bunch of like ROM hacks for Nintendo 64 games on there. I could put them on here easily, but I don't really feel the need to. I just kind of put, like, you know, some of the essentials, like the rare games like Banjo-Kazooie, Tooie, Bomberman 64, always love that game, Conker, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong 64, which I still have not played yet. So really, basically, just the essentials, Pokemon Stadium 2, you know. So that's really good. So in ascending order, probably PlayStation's the next one. And I have a ton of PlayStation games here. We got the Bloody Roar games, Brave Fencer Musashi, the Crash games, Bushido Blade, Dino Crisis, Hercules. I really like the Disney games for PlayStation 1, like Emperor's New Groove, Tarzan, Hercules, Toy Story Racer. All these games are really, really good. Of course, we got Glover, we got all the Klonoa games, even the beach volleyball one. As we're going down, Pac-Man World, Parasite Eve. I need to play Parasite Eve 2. Got Resident Evil 3. I don't think I've read RE2, because I played that on my Vita, so I don't really feel the need to have that on here. Spider-Man 2, Spyro games. So yeah, Xenogears. So a ton of solid PlayStation 1 games. They all play great. No problems there. Actually, I'm going to start exiting out of some of these. I never like to leave, like, apps open. So we got that done. So I guess the next easiest emulator would probably be Dreamcast, maybe? I always like the Dreamcast. It's one of my favorite consoles. I don't have too much on here. I say that, but... but some of my favorites are, like, 102... Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. That game is actually really good. We got Buzz Lightyear. Probably move this in a little bit closer. Probably should have done it from the start. So we got Dead or Alive, Dino Crisis. And again, all of these games run pretty much flawlessly. If they work well in the emulator, they're going to work well on this device. Shenmue. Shenmue is a big one. I really do love the Shenmue series. Sonic Shuffle, that's a legendary game. Soul Calibur, the first Spider-Man. I like the Dreamcast version of the first Spider-Man. It's way better than the PS1. It looks better, it plays better. It's just a better port, or a better version. Toy Story 2, of course, you need the Dreamcast version. Usually, if there's like a Dreamcast version of a PS1 game, it's usually better on this. That's why I have Toy Story 2 on here. So yeah, I got the Tomb Raider games, Virtua Tennis, Tennis 2. You know, basically the essentials. So that's good. Now we're jumping into some of the bigger emulators. So let's jump into PSP. And I can tell you that all of these PSP games work great. Even some of the hard ones, like, where's Silent Hill Shattered Memory? Silent Hill Shattered Memories works great on this device as well, which I think is really cool. But I got, like, Third Birthday, Ape Escape, Armored Core. This is like an analog patch of Armored Core 2. I got the Assassin's Creed game, Bleach Heat the Soul 7, Brave Story, we got Crisis Core, Crash, Dragon Ball Z, Dissidia, of course, Digimon. We got the Final Fantasy games. We got, actually, I believe Final Fantasy 1 through 12 on this device. I actually made sure I had all of them. So I have Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4 on this device, or on PSP, and then on Switch I have Final Fantasy 5 and 6. Then on Android I have the 7, 8, 9, which you already saw, and then I have Final Fantasy 10 on PlayStation 2, and I have Final Fantasy 12 on Switch as well. So I literally have Final Fantasy 1 through 12. 11 doesn't count because it's the MMO, if you were wondering. So I have pretty much all the mainline Final Fantasy games from 1 to 12 running on this machine. No problem. It's honestly quite amazing. But yes, we got Final Fantasy, we got Kingdom Hearts, we got Metal Slug, Mega Man. I don't think I have Mega Man X on this. Huh. I should put Mega Man X on this. Mavic Hunter X, that's a really good version of it. Metal Gear. We got the Naruto games. We got Phantasy Star Online. Toy Story 3, that's actually a really good game. And Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix. All great games. All of them work great. We'll exit out some of these. Okay, now we're gonna get into the real. Well, we have one more. I forgot about the 3DS. The 3DS, I have a ton of 3DS games on here. So I'm gonna wait for this little wheel to spin, and then we'll go through them. But again, I got Asphalt, Bravely Default, Bravely Second, Codename Steam, that's a really good game. Dead or Alive, Dylan, Dead Heartbreakers, or Dead Heat Breaker. That game is so good. That's like a 3DS hidden gem. We got Donkey Kong Country Returns, Dragon Quest Monsters 3, or Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 3 Pro, the English patch version of this, along with the English patch version of Dragon Quest Monsters Team, I think that was. That was like a Japanese only one. And this is also another English patch. It's the sequel to this game. We got Dragon Ball Fusions, Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden, Dragon Quest 8, Fantasy Life, Final Fantasy Explorers. I actually really like that game. Fire Emblems, we got them. We got Fire Emblem Warriors, which actually works really good on the DS. Or on the 3DS emulator. Heroes of Ruin, which is actually a really fun game. Hyrule Warriors Legends. I was playing this a little bit on the 3DS, but then I got a Switch version, so I actually should delete this one off, just to save a little bit of room. The only game I know doesn't work is Lego City Undercover. Out of all like the 3DS games I've played, this one just doesn't work for some reason. And I think it's an emulator issue, not like a hardware issue, because the game still plays fine. It's just, I don't know, this game just might not agree with the emulator. We got Luigi's Mansion, Mario Golf, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, Samus Returns. We got Monster Hunter Stories, New Super Mario Brothers 2. Then one of them is a modded version, has like extra levels and stuff. That's why there's two of them there. Got all the One Piece games. Really big. I love the One Piece Unlimited series. And I have all of them on this device, which is super cool. So I have Unlimited Cruise Special and Special 2. That was on the 3DS. Also have Unlimited World Red. Whoops. Yeah, let's close that game. I also have Unlimited World Red on the 3DS as well. Got a bunch of Pokemon games. Project Cross Zone. That's a super good one. Resident Evil. Radiant Historia. Got the Sonic games for it. Spider-Man. Star Fox. Smash Brothers works really good on this device. Legend of Korra. That was kind of like a hidden gem one. Got the Tekken Prime, which the video for the Tekken Prime also works too. So you actually get like a full-length Tekken movie with that game. That's pretty cool. And then just some more Japanese releases. And, yeah, and I got a fan translation of this game, EX Trooper. I have it on PS3, but I've always wanted, but it was made for like 3DS first, so. Also I have, where is it? Not Radiata Story. Rodea Sky Soldier. This is a game I really want to play as well. So, I pretty much have my entire 3DS library on this device. Just on it. So, now we've got that. Let's jump into PlayStation. So, here we have PlayStation 2. I don't have all the PlayStation 2 games I think I would want on this. But I do have quite a few. So, we got the Ape Escape games, obviously. I actually have all the Ape Escape games on this device. I had the first one on PSP, and then Ape Escape 2 and 3. All work really well. Battle Stadium Dawn, this is a complete English patch, meaning it's English translated and also English dub, which I find super impressive. We got the Bouncer, Bloody Roar. I don't know what this game was, but I like the cover art, so I want to try that one day. Crash. This is actually a test build of the Daredevil video game that never got made. I think that's pretty cool. We got Dark Cloud 2, the Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi games, Infinite World, the Drakengard, Gundam Dynasty Warriors, Fire Heroes, Full Metal Alchemist. I've always wanted to finish that one. Got Gungrave, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Graffiti Kingdom, the Jak and Daxter games, all of them. Oh, this is Nobody May Cry. This is a mod of Kingdom Hearts 2 that plays kind of like Devil May Cry, and you play as like Roxas the whole time. Super cool game. We got the Metal Gears, Monster Rancher, got the Naruto games, got Naruto Ultimate Ninja 5. This is a big one for me because I love the Ultimate Ninja games, but for some reason we never got the 5th one. The 5th one only ever came out in Europe and Japan. So if you lived in the US like me, you never got it. Okage, obviously have to have Okage in there. Radiata Stories, Rogue Galaxy. Rumble Roses, this is a modded version of Rumble Roses that allows you to play as all the characters. It's weird, like, apparently you can't unlock every character on, like, a normal version of the game. There's, like, always characters that you miss, because it basically gives you a choice to either get one or the other. But this one has them all. This is the arcade version of Soul Calibur 3. Not quite sure what that adds, but it's still cool. I love Soul Calibur 3. We got a Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 4. That is a modded version of Tenkaichi 3, which add like a bunch of characters from like Dragon Ball Super, the movies. Like this one goes all the way up to like Beast Gohan. And they also have characters like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Broly. So cool. Tekken 4, Super Dragon Ball Z. I got Action Replay here. Dot Hack, Ultimate Spider-Man. All good games. Steambot Chronicles, legendary game. So all great games. And again, it runs them all fine. The only problem that you would have is if there's an issue with the emulator. Like these games just don't run in that particular emulator well. Other than that, like this thing is powerful enough to play all those games great. And now we'll go into Dolphin here. And I got some WiiWare titles, Crystal Defenders, those are pretty fun games. The one I like the most is like Sonic 4 Episode 1. I just think it's really cool that I have this on this device. Now we'll go to Wii, and as you can see here, I have a ton of Wii games. Got Call of Duty. I try to get all the Wii games that had a controller support. There's some exceptions like Crystal Bearers, One Piece, Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles. But pretty much all of these games run with like a controller. Spider-Man doesn't. Soul Calibur Legends doesn't, but this game's easy enough to map to a controller. And they all run great. I have not run into one game that doesn't run well, or one Wii game that doesn't run well on here. And it also has Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. That's this game right here. That is my favorite, like, racing game in general. And the fact that I have it on this little portable handheld and it plays great is amazing. So now let's move over to GameCube. GameCube, I have a whole bunch. We got Billy Hatcher, Bloody Roar, Digimon Rumble Arena 2, classic game, Eternal Darkness. We got Evolution Worlds. We got Killer 7, Zatch Bell, the Mario Golf Kart, Mega Man Command Mission, Metroid, Metal Gear, One Piece. Product number 3, Paper Mario. Rave Master is really fun. That was actually the first Let's Play I ever did. Got a bunch of Resident Evil games, Samurai Jack, Skies of Arcadia. This is Shadow the Hedgehog Reloaded. So it's basically an updated, better version of Shadow the Hedgehog. And also I got a modded version of Sonic Riders. This is called Sonic Riders DX version 2.0.1. And it's basically an updated version of Sonic Riders where they added characters. Like, you can play as Hypersonic, which is really cool. Then we got Super Mario Eclipse and Super Mario Sunburnt. These are modded versions of Super Mario Sunshine. And Super Mario Eclipse is kind of like a sequel to Sunshine, which is really cool. Got Star Fox Adventures, Tales of Symphonia, Super Monkey Ball, Melee, Hulk, Simpsons Hit and Run, Ultimate Spider-Man, Naruto, Clash of Ninja 4. This is one we never got in the States, but this is an English patch version of it. That game never left Japan. So, and again, all these games run great. It does GameCube emulation pretty much flawlessly. And now let's hit Yuzu, which Yuzu is the Switch emulator. And I have a ton of games on this one as well. So we got, most of these games work pretty much fine. I'll let you know which games don't work. But we got the .hack GU collection. AM2R, that stands for Another Metroid 2 Remake. That game works really well. Cross Tag Battle works. But going down the list, I'll tell you what games don't work. Dragon Quest, The Adventures of Dai is a little shoddy. It's a little touch and go. I'll be honest with that. Live a Live just doesn't work. Like, it's like it wants to work, but it's just not there for whatever reason, which is unfortunate. World Ends With You Neo doesn't work. I don't know why. It'll like boot into the game, but then just crashes after that. The first River City Girls doesn't work for some reason, but River City Girls 2 and 0 work fine, so I'm not sure what's up with the first game. I think there's another game that doesn't work very well. No, the rest of the games work pretty good. Again, you're gonna have some like graphical issues. Like Yooka-Laylee has some like shadow, like some weird shit happening with the graphics. Same thing with like World of Final Fantasy, but I think these two are playable. It's just you got like some weird visual stuff. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening doesn't work, unfortunately. But Skyward Sword HD works. Breath of the Wild works amazingly for this device. I'm actually shocked at how well that game works. But as you can see here, like, pretty much all of these games, I would say, are in a playable state. You might have, like, one or two hiccups along the line, and it might not be 100% perfect, but it's still super solid. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the games that I have on my AYN Odin 2, and there are a ton, a ton. Oh, also, I forgot to talk about this. This is the Ship of Harkanian. Basically, what this is a PC version of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's super cool. If you haven't checked it out, I actually just recently found it. But I got it working on my Odin 2, and it's super cool. I actually am going to play through that game probably after I beat Breath of the Wild. So, anyway, guys, I try to keep this video as short and concise as possible. We're still at, like, 25 minutes, but I think I did pretty good, considering how much I ramble on. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is all the games that are on my Odin 2. This thing is jam-packed. Like, I don't need to add another game to this thing, probably ever. There is so much to play on here. I probably can't even finish all the games I've put on here, if I'm being honest. But I'm one of those people, I like having a lot of games, like, for a handheld like this, I like having a lot of games on there, just in case. But honestly, this is probably the best handheld you can get. I absolutely love it. But, I'll cut the video off here. I'll stop rambling, but, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you have any questions about the Odin 2, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer you back, as best I can. Other than that, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.